Hi guys, and today we have the Suzuki Baleno. This is not a new car, it's actually been around since 2015, but we've been quite keen to get our hands on it. We haven't been able to do so until now. Quite unique because it's quite a cheap car and available here in the UAE, but made in India, this car. What is it? It is a completely bespoke chassis actually, because some people have said, is it based on this, or this? No, it's not. It's a new platform that was designed for this car. If anything, it's most closely related to the Suzuki Ignis. This car is available with a 1.4 litre 4-cylinder engine, gives you 91 brake horsepower and 96 pounds-foot of torque. It's good for 0 to 100 in about 10.1, 10.2 seconds. You know, it's good enough. It's old tech, it's 16 valve. This car is available in other markets with, like, I think it's a 1 litre or 1.2, which are more modern engines, but we get this one. Not many markets do actually. I think it's just us in Australia and New Zealand get this model. So this is a GLX. It comes in two trim levels. It comes as a GL and a GLX. GLX is obviously the better spec one. Now prices on the showroom floor are 51,500 for the GL and 56,500 for the GLX. But actually if you go in there now, they're doing an offer. And it's actually 43,000 for the GL and just 49,000 for the GLX. They're very well equipped. Even as standard, you get 4-speaker stereo and you get all kinds of stuff in there. But the difference between the GL and the GLX is quite significant, because the GLX, whereas you get normal air conditioning in the GL, you get climate control in the GLX. Very good climate control, by the way. Safety, you get 2 airbags in the GL, you get 6 airbags in this car. This one also gets 16-inch alloy wheels. It also gets cruise controls, HID front lights. It gets keyless entry and keyless start. You get a start button inside, gets a rear camera, and it gets an adjustable steering column. So quite a handy and a convenient little thing this. Let's see what the practicality is like, starting as ever with the boot. Apologies, it's a bit dirty because, would you believe it, hot and sunny summer here in the UAE and we had rain. How did that happen? I don't know, but it happened anyway. You notice that the styling is quite unique on the car at the back because it's got this chrome strip here. You may have noticed at the front, I'll put some pictures in, you'll notice at the front, it's got a very Nissan type of look at the front with that grille, and also along the side as well with this sort of contoured profile. It's got, reminds me of the Sentra a little bit. Let's have a look at the boot. Actually a very deep boot, very spacious, but very deep. It's got quite a high lip here, which can be problematic if you need to lift stuff over it. But once you do that, you've got a very deep cavity here with a good amount of space each side. And even under the floor, you've got a little space saver, maybe space to put a few odds and bits in there. There's a toolkit down there, but not too much. You can remove that, of course, and then there are split folding seats, 60/40, and if you put that down, that should go more or less flat. So actually a very spacious and practical boot area. What's it like in the rear? Let's have a look. Wow, check this out. There's actually quite a bit of room in here. I think this being a car made in India, you could get 3 adults here in the UAE. You could get 15 children in here in India. I reckon that's how they've made this work. But it's surprisingly spacious. I mean, this seat is set for me. I'm 6'2", and yeah, I'm actually quite comfortable. I've actually got room to stretch out. I mean, I'm not cramped like this. I actually can stretch my knees a little bit there, stretch my legs out. The shins are just rubbing up against the bottom of the chair there, but otherwise it's not too bad. Even for my feet, there's plenty of room down there. If you can see, not an issue at all. So actually quite good. Headroom is just about fine. The roof comes down a little bit, so yeah, if you've got one of those silly hairstyles, then that could be an issue, but otherwise it's not too bad at all. Headrests are adjustable. They've got these natty little clips here, if I can show you on here, which actually hold the seat belt. So that's quite a neat little arrangement there. What else have they got back here? They've got a very well contoured door pocket designed to perfectly keep your large water bottle at a good angle. That's really handy actually. That's a good thought out feature. Electric windows, of course, on this car. Actually they both have them as standard. No USBs back here, but you do get a power supply there, so I suppose you could use an adapter. That's pretty much all you get back here, and so it's time to get in the front. Here we are, and again, quite a spacious interior here at the front. Let's turn it on. Starter button, like I said, you know. Oh, fancy smancy. Check it out. There's the instrument panel. Now you have a big old screen here in the middle. It says Suzuki on there. Look at that, you know. So despite the sort of aftermarket feel of it, is integrated to Suzuki. And let me just show you that, because it's quite cool. You know, it's got all of the features It's got sat nav on here. It's got reversing camera comes up on here. The remotes for this are operated, from the steering. These remotes here work for that. And the Bluetooth buttons as well. It's got Bluetooth. It's got Bluetooth. In fact, you can see the microphone over here. It's quite weird having an exposed mic. I feel like I'm being monitored or surveilled all the time. It's a bit weird that. I don't know how that's got the quality of how that's going to survive over the years, but anyway, that's there. So it's a very well kitted out thing. It's got quite a good stereo sound as well, pretty deep. Not very crisp or clear, but quite a deep sound. And it's got all the usual stuff on there as well. I won't go through too much of that. This is the climate control, so literally you just set the temperature from here and you're good to go. And it's like I said, it's pretty powerful actually, quite cool. I've been quite pleased with that. I've actually had to turn it down. Automatic, of course. 4-speed automatic transmission. Down here you have an aux, if you can make out an aux, and USB, and a power supply as well, or rather a lighter thing. There's a remote, and I'm assuming that remote is for that stereo. I don't know why you would need it. I mean, it's right there. I mean, I don't know what the hell that's for. There's a couple of cavities here which are good to keep phones and water bottles and stuff like that. Space here that's sort of just right to fit your phone under. It's I wonder if that's been done deliberately. And a very small little cubby box there as well. Here on the steering wheel, like I said, we've got cruise control buttons there. There's your remote buttons for the stereo. There's your Bluetooth buttons. We don't have automatic lights, so you do have to remember to turn the lights on and off. It does sound an alarm if you get out of the car without turning them off. And here you've got your normal regular dials, and in the middle you've got a digital display, and I'll just scroll you through that. So right now it's showing 15.3 kilometers per liter, which is I think it's about 6.6 something liters per 100. So the fuel economy, of course, as you'd expect, ain't bad. There's even a certificate on the window, which can apparently in some markets required by law to show you what it can actually achieve. It says 20 kilometers on that one, but I think that's sort of maximum efficiency. So go through that. That just shows you your economy, your driving time. So it's like a trip computer sort of stuff, your clock and your dates and stuff. Now this is interesting. You can't see it at the moment, but when you're driving, you can actually see a car in the middle of there, and you see a little dot, and so it's like a G meter. Why do we have a G meter in a Suzuki Baleno? And it's quite distracting because if you try and use it as you're going around a corner, you see the little dot move over to one side or the other depending which direction you're going, and you're looking at the dot rather than looking at the corner, which is what you should be doing. Anyway, I have no idea why that's on this car. And another thing that I don't know why it's on this car is the torque and power meter. So again, you can see that. Oh, look at that. 1.4 liters, eh? But that's pretty much it. That's what you get on there. So overall, a very well equipped car for the money, I have to say, and quite spacious, quite comfortable, good all round visibility, no issues at all. Right, next thing to do is to take it for a drive. Right, so let's give this a go. 1.4 litre, 91 brake horsepower, and a lot of noise, and some torque. Come on, I gotta be fair. Actually, to be honest, around town in everyday use is fine because this isn't a heavy car. It's about 1,000 kilograms, less than actually. So the performance is perfectly adequate. The ride too is quite reasonable. You get a little bit of like we're coming up to some yellow lines now, and you can both hear them and you can feel them. Slower speed ride can be a little bit obtrusive, but overall motorway ride is absolutely fine, no issues whatsoever. So ride is okay, performance is okay for this kind of car. To be honest, you never really find it wanting. It never really becomes an issue around town or anything like that. It doesn't feel like it's slow unnecessarily, so actually it's absolutely fine. All round visibility, like I said, is pretty good. Braking's alright, no issues at all, about what you'd expect. 4-speed transmission. I mean, it's old school. I mean, now we're talking about 10 speeds in some cars. Thankfully, it's not a CVT though, so that's a good thing. And actually, it's fine. And it's doing all right even in terms of economy, as you've seen. So it's not really a problem. So whereas the drivetrain is clearly old school in this car, it's proven old school. So it's not really an issue. It's absolutely fine. Next thing, handling. Well, it's a Suzuki. Suzukis tend to handle all right. And so does this one. There's a bit of body lean, as you can see. But the grip is okay. There is a tendency to understeer, as you'd expect in this car. But it's fine though. It's generally, there you go, going into a corner now. And yeah, it's absolutely fine. It's fairly grippy-ish. and the handling is okay. It's about what you'd expect. It's sort of the little hatchback type of handling, with the body roll thrown in, which is again hatchbacky. Some good hatchbacks lift up an inside wheel, don't they? But yeah, that's absolutely fine. Camels in the middle of the road. There you go. However, the one thing that I do have an issue with this car, which can affect, of course, the enjoyment and detract slightly from that rather okay handling, is the steering. I find the steering stodgy, gloopy, imprecise, and the wind back's kind of weird as well. It's sort of over-eager. So I think it's electric power steering on this car, and it's completely disconnected. You don't feel anything at all. So again, that doesn't really help you. So yeah, I think that's the one thing that lets it down. But on the other hand, the turning circle is pretty good. Maneuverability is fine. Agility is fine for around town stuff. And it's quite a light and easy car to maneuver. The reversing camera helps you to park the thing as well. So, for everyday driving, for most people, it'll be absolutely fine. So it shouldn't really be an issue. It's just that if you're a sportier driver, if you enjoy chucking cars around a little bit, and want a little bit of precision and feedback from the steering, then this is not the car. I suspect the Suzuki Swift, because remember that I haven't driven the Suzuki Swift in a while actually, but the last time I drove it, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So they generally make that a well-packaged car in terms of handling and dynamics. So, but probably not quite as spacious as this one. So there's your trade-off right there. Practicality, spaciousness, comfort, perhaps equipment, this car. Sportier drive, sportier looks, Suzuki Swift. So there you go. There it is. There's our verdict on the Baleno. Excellent value for money. Not a bad car for the money at all. Definitely worth getting down there, especially now with the special offer price of $49,000. You can't beat it, man. Come on. All of this for $49,000? New car, 3-year warranty, 7-year dealer warranty. It's worth looking at. Hope you enjoyed the review. Please do check us out, motoringme.com, and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, please do like, share, and subscribe. You can also check me out as well. I'm on the social media, and I'll put up the links and ads and whatever you hear. You don't have to join me there, but it'd be nice to see you there. So thanks very much for joining us today, and until the next one.